welcome to Papastache 102. So freaking Southern rock, whether it be way old school Skynyrd to more new school Stonesy to Crows. That's what I meant to say. Stones work too though. They're all kind of country blues fusion. And there's some simple tricks to write some fun stuff over, say 4 chords, maybe a typical blues progression with a couple extra chords to sound, tough. But we're going to show you those tricks. Now, if you want to learn how to solo a little bit better, click the link down below, and that's going to explain maybe over these style of changes how you might sound a little more Southern rock, a little more target note efficient, where you're hitting the right notes at the right time. So check that out. It fuses chord shapes and scales together. Now, other than that, let's zoom in for a closer look and learn some of these, or how to write Southern rock style songs. Okay, so everybody always asks, right off the bat, Nash Strat with the pickups, their rollers, divided by 13, BTR 23, and I'm going through a Tim Pierce pedal and a RC booster. That's it, right? And that's the net result of all those things coming together to make some music. Now, as far as writing a Southern rock tune, what we can do is we can pull some of our scales that we've talked about here a million times on this channel. And if this is your first time, check out the channel. There's tons of stuff regarding scales and how to mix pentatonic, major, and minor together. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to pull directly from A, the chords themselves, and B, from the scales that we can use over the top of those chords. Now, this particular song, I'm going to draw from chords within the A major scale, or progression, I should say, and the A minor as well. So we're going to be able to use both scales, both A major and minor pentatonic, to use some of these riffs. Now, if you don't want to get into the theory aspect of stuff, which is, I'm not a theory guy by any means, I'll just show you tricks. Okay, so first trick, when you play a chord, say this A chord, what you can do directly behind that chord is add on the B string 3rd fret and the D string 4th fret this. Okay? Now that works with all the chord shapes from the A string down. So say we were in C, it's the same thing. You would use this finger, but take it up to here. Okay, so it's just where this finger is. You would do the little same strings, right? B string, D string. If you went up to a D, E, right? So that it moves along with the chord shapes. A, I'm using my first finger. It would realistically be like that if I had to fret, the A note. So it's just that shape. You scoot it up. You can do that trick. Another trick, and I'm just going to show you some tricks and then I'll apply it to music, would be when you're at the A to shift. We're going to take from the A minor position or the C chord, scoot it down to A major pentatonic, and pull off. And then I'm going to pull off to my A chord itself. So I'm sliding on the D and G 5th fret, down to the 4th fret, pull off to the 2nd fret, go back to the 4th. Now, since that sounds like it wants something else, we can add that. And what that is we're going from the C note, or the 3rd fret, on the A string, 4th fret. Okay, now that in itself opens up Pandora's box to a million riffs. Okay, so one of the things we can do is draw directly from the A major pentatonic scale, which is okay, so it's on frets 2 and 5, you're going to have the low E string, the B string, and the high E string. On frets 2 and 4, you'll have the A, the D, and the G string. So, okay, now what I can do is I can do different combinations of pulling those strings. Right, so. So what I did there is I pulled down a half step on the G. Right? Go to pitch, pull off to second fret, 4 to 2 again on the G string, and then I go hammer on the D string. I roll over this finger, and I go 2 and 4 on the D, catch the second fret of the G. Come back. So now you got. If you combine those two riffs together, maybe get a little tough note down here, the G. Now another thing that's big in rock and roll period is muting with this hand. So say we're just doing the first thing we learned. Instead of going, which is cool, has its place, we can go. Maybe come in on some of those ands. Okay, now what we can also do, another classic, say we're going to a C, so we got. That is in almost every Southern rock song ever made, right? Very, very cool riff. So you're going from the C, and you're sliding. It's kind of derived from R&B and Hendrix, right? You get that sort of stuff, okay? Where you're basically, without getting too involved, is you're taking this chord, say it's a major chord on the 5th fret, and you're basically playing out of the major notes of that pentatonic, which is directly behind the chord. So if I'm in C major pentatonic, is right there. So I get all those cool notes behind that chord, and that works on all major chords. If it was a minor chord, right, and we wanted to do that same thing, the pentatonic's right underneath our fingers. Okay, so that's A string down is right behind. E string down, right underneath your fingers. Okay? Now, so if we want to do the sliding riff, what we're going to do is we're going to go on the note of our root note, or the string of our root note, and we're going to slide up 2 frets behind the root note. So if I'm on a C chord, I'm going to slide from the 5th fret of the A string to the 7th fret. And then I'm going to grab the D and G. And then you can go into your... Right? So we're starting to fuse all the ideas together. Some kind of intervallic sliding around. For on our A, what's cool is we know that these 2 notes work, but we can also slide into other chords Okay, so that would be on the D and G. We're starting off on the 4th and the 3rd frets. We'll slide up to the 5 and 5, 7 and 7, so you can. Now you can always do the typical blues thing, right? And mix it with that sort of thing. So you're just going up a whole step on the D string and then combining it with, and you have a bunch of different tricks. So let's put all these together and do some different ideas, and then we'll even throw some soloing stuff in there too. Okay, so one of the things I can do instead of playing all my A down here, I can use my thumb and play off the A major. Right? And play more off of the minor pentatonic scale, even though we're trying to be more in a major context, and just hammer onto that major third. And do a little muting down here, so we'll go maybe play off of our root note. Okay, so I've gone. So I go to the root note, and then I hammer on back to the root, but from the D string, 5th fret. Then the next one is hammering onto the major third from a minor note, which is the 5th fret of the G to the 6th fret, right? Taking right out of our major. And then maybe coming backwards, instead of hammering into our root note, pull off, and then lead back into our root note here. So we got. Right, and then we can come back into the root note that way. Now that right there, I'm borrowing some of the notes from our major pentatonic scale, and I'm incorporating also from our D chord right here. But what I'm doing is I'm barring and doing a double stop and a half step bend on the G and the B 7th fret. And then pulling off to the B and G on the 5th fret. And then going up, pulling from our root note down to the 5th fret on the D string. So then what I did is I just walked down. I don't remember exactly what I did, but I walked down in the minor pentatonic scale. Okay, and it's just D string, 7 to sometimes I'll pull off to the open E, right? Because that's the 5 of the A chord, or the A progression. And then pull a G back in there, right? So. Right? And come back into our A. And come back how you're supposed to in time. Maybe catch it on an upstroke. So those are just some things we can do, you know. As far as incorporating chords and scales together. Now, I mean, you can do all sorts of that kind of stuff, you know, that kind of soloing in between, you know, or for the turnaround or any of that. Just pulling notes right out of the minor pentatonic. Right? So, right? And then come back to maybe one of the licks we learned earlier. So these are all things that are like standard issue in that sort of southern rock where you're fusing major and minor progression chords, right? When A major, pulling out that C chord, D, maybe going to 1, 4, 5, you know, and they're pulling a G in there. Those are the chords that make it sound a little more, like a little more, you know, like you've walked into a bar and you're like, oh boy, these are some rough cats. You better come up with some killer Skynyrd-esque riffs. So these will get you through, and hopefully no bottles will be flung your way and, you know, poke your eye out and then you can't see what you're doing. Well, at least you'd have one left, but hit your guitar, because that would suck. You'd be out of tune. Or, you know, if they break your arm because your riffs aren't that good. In that case, just bust that out and you're gold. All right, so work with that, and then let me know if you like this sort of thing down below, and, you know, we'll carry on with this train to Southern Rockland. Yes! Way to go. Awesome job. Now again, the soloing link below, that's going to help you how to hit those target notes. It's totally applicable, whether it's in major or minor or fusing the two together, which is infamous in Southern rock legendary. But if you're wanting, you know, like you got a girlfriend or, you know, some people at a party, like, dude, do you know any freaking pop songs? Like, over there, we'll get you, you know, 400 or so pop-flavored songs, country, all sorts of that kind of stuff. So check that out as well, Papastache Pop. Down below, there's a website, too. That's just me teaching you how to play guitar. So check that out as well. And then tell your friends. Let's have a big, giant guitar-playing planet that just... We don't hate each other. We love each other. And more importantly, we love to jam with each other. Because I meet people from all over the world, and I tell you what, they're awesome. And they just want to play guitar and have fun, too. So, you guys are amazing. Thank you for the support. Big hug. Happy holidays. We'll catch you next time. Catch you next time. See, there's always at least a good flub somewhere in there. But... the emotion, where the flub stumbles, the emotion is true. Hug from me to you. You guys are amazing. Catch you next time.